everyone. Welcome to the 3% Conference, and thank you so much for tuning into my session. My name is Mandana Mellano. I am the founder and president of PEONY, a talent recruiting firm working with agencies and brands to help them up their game and acquire remarkable talent nationwide. Today's topic is advertising, romanticizing the past versus the future, the talent edition, of course. When did advertising become so boring, so safe, so predictable? When did we stop having fun and really truly pursuing the creative territories that require risk-taking and being brave? No, it's not data or digital or social media killing your creativity. It's not the new breed of talent who just don't get it. It's not even the procurement teams or clients trying to push KPIs and maybe margins in favor of the creative endeavor. It's us. It's an industry that has decided its glory days are in its past and not the future. It's every agency that leads every pitch with a sizzle reel of their past work, looking back at what they've done in the past and hoping to repeat them. Think about it for a minute. We lead our pitches looking back, not at the future. That's when we stopped having fun. We stopped being brave. We decided that hiding behind proven methods and stories already told is safer and more comfortable. You look at science, art, you look at technology, constantly innovating, playing with new hypotheses, challenging and trying to disprove old theories and methodologies, and opening our eyes and minds to how we live our lives, from how we use our phones to how we cook and travel and listen to music. That's the difference between their craft and our craft. Technology is not killing advertising. Technology is doing exactly what technology is meant to do. Advertising is killing advertising. I spent the first 20 years of my career inside some of the most global, iconic shops, and I've lived the everyday stories of agencies. I've also loved my job. I've loved everyone that I've been lucky enough to call colleagues, clients, and friends. And I too have participated in romanticizing our past. But when I started my company, PEONY, I had one goal in mind and in heart, and that was not to repeat the past. I wanted to break some rules. I wanted to have some fun. And I also wanted to prove that the past is often a very poor reflection of future success. So now I want to look at three areas with you guys, three examples of how this approach affects the talent business, particularly for agencies. First one is inclusion. So we all talk about inclusion. We talk about inclusive environments and culture and hiring, but at the heart of it, I feel that we can all agree that the entire recruiting ecosystem for agencies is actually built on the premise of exclusion. When you look at ATS, which is Applicant Tracking System, for those of you that may want to look it up, it really, all it does is filter people out. It's not filtering people in. It's going by some binary codes on anything from education to titles to location to anything that they want to include in that job description becomes a way for them to filter people out. So ATS starts by filtering out, not filtering in, filtering out based on historical attributes, based on past. So regardless of who you are, what you do, what you're capable of, you must first survive that first cut of exclusion by agency ATS. Well, guess what? True inclusion is truly impossible when you look at a mold that's defined by past profiles. That mold has been defined by what's worked in the past, by the types of people, the types of experiences that have worked in the past. If we're going to use technology to help us become smarter in how we recruit agency talent, let's at least rely on it for an inclusive experience, something that brings in values and attributes together versus relying on a discriminatory algorithm to filter people out. The second topic I wanted to discuss today is equity. How many of you are actually aware of the fact that holding companies prevent recruiting firms from reaching out to or poaching existing talent within that broad agency network that they have remit over? In my opinion, that's not only a bad practice to supposedly retain talent, but also detrimental to equity any way you look at it. Equity from pay to gender to access information, all of that depends on a level playing field. And if a company decides for you what you should have access to or what information finds its way to you, then that's not equity. And I think it's just limiting equity in so many different ways. If you look at the core of the problem, why should a company decide what you have access to, what information you have access to, and for whose benefit is that really? Talent recruiting is, again, meant to be a level playing field so that everyone has access to the same amount or the same information across the board. The third topic I wanted to discuss today is competencies. Most organizations and teams tend to hire more of the same, not only from a cultural standpoint, but also when it comes to skill sets and competencies. They want copywriters from an auto team to work on the new auto account. They want media directors from a big shop for a big shop. So it's a cycle that continues to repeat itself regardless of what human potentials exist when you look at a candidate, when you look at someone's competencies and talent that they can bring to the board. So back to romanticizing the past we go. We rely on past experiences to help build the path forward, or we hope that past experiences help us build the path forward, rather than looking and investing in complementary skill sets that can actually help evolve organizations. So here's the deal. I think potential is the most critical yet undervalued attribute in hiring. Potential is really understanding, valuing, appreciating, and also investing in the future, not the past. These are 3 small examples of advertising not being able to get out of its own way. Now imagine breaking down these patterns and actually starting to look and build towards the future. 1, moving away from exclusive-driven talent recruiting, saying goodbye to ATS, and just really humanizing talent and understanding that there's so much more to people than binary codes that, define them for us in the system. 2, creating open opportunities and communications for everyone, regardless of what agency, what company, what holding company they work for, because that's truly the way to build meaningful equity. And 3, hiring based on a candidate's potential and not past experiences. The future is already starting to look different and more exciting for us. Yes, the past was glorious. We've accomplished great things, but let's move on. Let's start by romanticizing the future and really looking at every challenge and every decision as an opportunity for us to help shape the future of advertising and its people. Thank you for coming again. Thanks for tuning into my session. Please drop by the Q&A, and I look forward to seeing you all.